Hello, everyone. Welcome one more time to Tardes con Sabina. Today we have a very special guest, a woman that has been successful in her industry, which is real estate. She works here in South Florida and she's from Miami and raised in Miami. Anniella Tabraue, welcome. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me. Feel honored.
It's a pleasure to have you. We have known the company that you work for, MG Developer, for some time. You're doing a wonderful job in Coral Gables, and I wanted to start this conversation by asking you about yourself. You were born and raised here in Miami, and from what I saw at your resume, you have a biology major. How did you go from biology to real estate?
The intention was I love animals, right? And I went in with the idea that I wanted to study veterinary science when I enrolled in college, in university. And then while I was in the doctor's office when working with the vet, I really liked the whole aspect of veterinary medicine, pharmaceutical sales. So the sales thing came about there. And when I graduated, I started working with two developers, some brothers that were building single-family homes in the South Miami area. And for some reason, I guess the rush of building and construction and real estate and all the hard work, the blood, sweat, and tears that go into it, I just became kind of addicted to that rush. Even though I was only the administrative assistant, but I was doing a lot of permit pulling. I was a lot on the site. I kind of just loved it. I'm like, well, the whole sales thing has always been in my mind. So I got my real estate license, I believe in 2015. I was 23 at the time, or 24. Definitely one of the youngest realtors in the company at the time when I hung my license. And then I was presented this opportunity in 2016. I was 24 at the time, so a couple months later, to kind of be an in-house agent for these developments in Coral Gables, which is now Biltmore Square. So yeah, it was. When I heard about it, I saw the plans and the renderings. I jumped right on board. It wasn't even a question for me. I fell in love with the product, and I've been here ever since. It's been great. I love it. I hope the developer continues to build. I love the team. I love the developer and his team. It's been a wonderful experience.
You've seen a transition in Miami because, of course, if you compare how Miami was being built before, probably when you were in college, or even when I was in college, which was a little bit before you, or a little bit more before you, you've seen the transition. What are your thoughts about the way that Miami has been developing recently? And also, of course, Coral Gables, which went from having beautiful homes to now being a little bit more urban, in the sense that, for instance, Biltmore Square has townhouses that are very similar to Boston townhomes or to New York, right?
Yeah, so in Miami, I grew up in a different area of Miami, very west of here, but my mom always worked in Coral Gables, so I would come in to work with her in the mornings in my summers and my Christmas breaks. And I remember Gables specifically always having the same style of homes, Spanish Mediterranean homes. I always knew Coral Gables for not only its type of architecture, they've always kind of maintained the same type of architecture, but its greenery, its vegetation. So, I mean, from where I lived, it's very different, but Coral Gables itself, the changes I'm seeing in the transition from when I was younger to now is, like you said, now there's newer condo buildings going up in downtown Gables. Before, it was a little bit more rural. It was a little more suburban. Now there's an actual downtown Gables. There's condo buildings.
Which was recently remodeled, basically.
Correct. Right. Miracle Mile has just been remodeled, making it more pedestrian friendly. Giralda Plaza was built. I mean, Miracle Mile already had a bunch of dining and shopping as it is, but more restaurants just started coming in and more retail shops are renting out spaces here. It's definitely changed for the better. Coral Gables itself, it's so central to everything. So it's really like one person's like end all be all sort of thing. It has the best schools. You could walk everywhere. It's so beautiful. You're surrounded by golf courses, recreational facilities, and I've definitely seen a big change in Gables, but for the better. I mean, you can't say that for a lot of other surrounding areas here and in Florida. You know, it's definitely taken a turn for the best.
And of course, it's taking a turn in where you can say that it's being overbuilt because all of the preservation is still there.
Correct.
Anniella, I wanted to ask you about your experience, obviously, right now that we are going live, we're recording, we're working, all is from home. Right now, you're not in your house, but you are at the area where you work on your own, basically.
Yes.
How has it been?
I mean, it's been a little challenging, especially that we're still under construction with some of the products. So it's hard to kind of control what's going on from home, you know, and you could be on a bunch of Zoom calls with clients all over the world, but being here right now I'm in one of the model units of our condo building that from the developer, and being here, it kind of, not only does it kind of keep me in check to do my work and stuff, but it's just working from home has been challenging. It's been hard. You know, you have the dog, the husband, the kids, everyone running around. I don't have kids yet, but I could imagine.
No,
you know,
but I understand how it is.
Yeah, I'm sure, and there's no privacy. It's hard, you know. A lot of these companies now are allowing people to work at home for the rest of the year. So people are kind of now like scrambling, building out these offices, making it like their home space to actually work from there and still have their privacy. You know, so
now it's more important than ever for people, I guess, talking real estate, that are choosing a new home to have spaces that could potentially become your office. Because I think that until they don't find a vaccine, it's going to be complicated for a lot of people to come out. The unit where you're at, can you describe it? It's from an MG developer.
Correct. It's from the developer. It's it's his first condo building project in Biltmore Square, and it's a 32-unit boutique condo building. We are over 90% sold at the moment, and we have units ranging from 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, all the way to 3 bedrooms, 3.5 baths with a den.
Which is the one that, yeah. You can stand if you want to show it.
Yes. I'll take the computer to the den. So it's kind of like a TV room the way we've built it out, but most residents have designed this to be like an office space, right? And then you could do some barn doors here or some pocket doors to close off and give you some privacy. So most units do have this den. Some units
have. You can lower a little bit the camera so our audience can see exactly the furniture. Yeah. So that could also become an office, right?
Correct. Yes. Once you add the doors, the barn doors or sliding doors, pocket doors, and it's private, but it's the perfect space, a perfect office size, and it couldn't come at a better time or more handy. And
of course.
Yeah. So
let us see the terrace, because we can't see the terrace. It looks very nice.
So this is one of our coolest features. All the units have these sliding glass doors. They're the Nana wall system. So they slide, there's a threshold at the bottom, but what the idea is, they slide to the corners, to the sides over here, and it integrates the outdoor space with the living room. So it's great for entertaining. You know, if you have family that comes over, if you still want to host parties, although you're not in a home, you could still do so here. And these terraces are extremely deep and wide. You could build an outdoor kitchen, have your ceiling fans, have a TV. You could do some shades outside as well.
And then the construction that we're seeing right in front of the balcony, is that from MG Developer as well?
That is from MG Developer as well. That is Althea Row, which is our new townhome project. And there is 5 in total. 3 stories with a 4-car garage, and about 4,400 square feet under air, with a total of almost 7,300 square feet total space, with terraces, dining loggias, center courtyards, as well as front door patio gardens, and those will be south of us, facing Almeria Avenue, which is yes. So in total, in Biltmore Square, we do have 4 projects. 2 are under construction and 2 are finished, which is the one I'm standing in right now, the Fillmore Park and Beatrice Row townhomes.
Okay.
Which is, yeah, the first phase of the townhomes. And then Althea Row and Fillmore Row are the second phase.
And then also as a company, you are very much involved in everything that has to do with art, with outdoor spaces, which are now more important than ever. I think that people are starting to value that they could sit right out of their homes, get some sun if they can't go out, like what just happened during this pandemia. So basically, the whole Fillmore Square has become like an MG, I would say, little area just for you guys, right?
Yes, so the idea was the developer's not just building units, he's building a lifestyle, right? So within the community, he also, there's a park called Balboa Plaza, which is about a block north of us that connects, which is Fillmore Way, which connects directly to Miracle Mile. He's a philanthropist, he loves art, right? So he did contribute this big limestone couch. It's a piece of art for that little park, along with these beautiful, beautiful standing lamps on the sides of it. And that's kind of where all the residents go to hang out. They meet up with their dogs, and you're outside. You have the most beautiful views of Granada Golf Course. It's all big oak trees surrounding you. But then when you look to your left, right, you can see down Fillmore Way, you have the city of Gables. You have, you know, Segovia Towers. You can see Miracle Mile and City Hall down that street. It's within walking distance to everything. So the whole community he's building, the lifestyle is allowing these residents when they purchase here to not feel as if they, you know, they're enclosed in small spaces. They're coming from big homes. You know, they don't want to feel that. These units are still big. They have enough space to build, you know, these offices, to have people over to entertain. You don't have to lose any of that. And then you're walking distance to everything, but still in a residential area, which is very important because you want to come home to a tranquil community. Sometimes you don't want to be in the hustle and bustle of the city. So it offers both things, you know. You don't even need to take the car out of the garage. You can walk.
You've been a top producer for the company since you started. How did you answer? How was the situation when they actually told you you're going to work for MG Developer? What's the process? If you could just narrate a little of how it was.
So it's funny because when I first started the project, I was like a junior associate. I was shadowing somebody else, and someone who's a little more experienced, and her and I became the best of friends. And she left the company, and I was the only one that stayed from the original pack, which was about 4 of us. And you know, I was persistent. You know, a lot of the buyers are skeptical buying planned, right? So they want to see the construction going up. They want to visually see things. They want tangible items. They want to know that the developer is not building and running, you know? So like, it's a process to get your first sale in. So I stuck to it. I was relentless. And once the first sale kind of came in, they all just started rolling in. It got easier as it went along, you know? It was definitely tough the first couple of months. I was 24 years old. And
very young, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then you went from a biology major to do something that was totally commercial.
Yeah, it's complete opposite end of the spectrum. But my biggest thing is, and I think I've learned in the last 5 years being in the project, is relating to people, right? So the buyers come through the door, and automatically, like, you want to relate to them. You want to become their friend. You want to make this process feel as natural as possible for them. It's a big deal. These townhomes and condos, I mean, it's not a small purchase. This is probably their last big purchase. So we're talking about $1 million, starting at 1.2.
What?
1.2 million to 1.8 for the condos, and the townhomes begin at 2.5, right?
Those are the ones in Althea Row. Exactly. So they're basically people who are looking to get a residence to live in the residence. That's their home.
Right. End users, correct. Yes, it's not. We have our investor, or often investor, in, you know, that's inquiring about the product. This is mostly end users, people coming from big homes, empty nesters where the kids have left for college, and they have a big house with all this maintenance, and they don't really use any of the amenities in their house. So these units, the townhomes more specifically, they offer this lifestyle where you lock up and go, and your maintenance is $300 a month, more or less. So
that's great.
It's amazing. And they're fee simple, meaning you own the actual structure and the piece of land it sits on. So and you have a 4-car garage. So if you have your kids coming over and they have, they could park in the garage, go up to the parents' unit. You could still have your big parties if you're entertaining, or if you've always been used to it. You don't have to lose that. And that's the really cool thing about these units and the way they were built.
And then when they ask you about amenities, I guess that because it's called Gables, they have the golf course, they have the country club, and then the Biltmore at some point is going to reopen after this pandemic. And that's also a feature that they can. Do you guys have any, I would say, partnership with any of these amenities?
So we have an affiliation with the Biltmore Hotels, and when you purchase a condo unit in Biltmore Park, where I am right now, it comes with a 1-year membership to the hotel, right? So you could use the facilities there, and it also gives you discounts on reservation and dining. So if you have friends coming from out of town and you don't want them to stay in your condo, they could stay there. You get discounts. Yeah, it's great. It's a great little feature, and they were very, very smart when strategically, when they were building this. The maintenance in the condo building is 48 cents a square foot. It's super low, but in order to maintain it that low, we don't have those amenities in the building. You have to venture out and actually find them, and that's why we give the residents a membership to the Biltmore Hotel.
Let's speak about, so Althea Road, what's the percentage of sales, or did it just start it?
Althea Road, we just launched the sales late 2019. We do have 2 under reservations. Right now, one's going back and forth negotiations. Althea Row is our largest project of townhomes thus far, and those do begin.
Because you also did Beatrice Row.
Right, we have 1 unit left in Beatrice Row. What the developer did learn in Beatrice Row was that there is a niche market for this type of product. Like I said, sometimes coming from a big home, transitioning to a condo, it's too much of an impact. So I guess the townhome is the perfect medium for these downsizing clients, So there is a very big market for it, and we learned that with Beatrice Row because they sold quickly. There's also no product like that with its colonial architecture, and the developer teamed up with the same architects and contractor to build the second phase of townhomes, which is Althea Row behind me, and Biltmore Row, which is coming at the end of this year. So that's Biltmore Square.
That's wonderful. Anniella, just to finish, now that we are going through a transition in the way that we see our lives, I mean, this is a pandemic that has no precedent. A lot of people are asking themselves, what's going to happen with real estate in Miami? How is it going to be affected? Are we going to go through some type of recession or not? And I mean, we listened to so many analyses and we've heard. And I wanted to ask you your thoughts about it, and also, how's your day now? What exactly are you doing to keep your routine and all of that? Because that's very inspiring for other people to actually take some of those components from what successful people like you do.
Yeah, so I mean, as for the real estate market, I don't think this is like a 2008 situation. It's very, very different. I do think we're going to see a big wave of Northeast coming down to Miami, people kind of searching for homes where you could go outside and go to the park and walk the golf courses. They want to be closer to the water. I think Miami is going to have a nice, this fall, we're going to see a lot of people coming down and purchasing here. I don't think it's going to be it's not going to take a turn for the worse for us per se. I'm sure around the country, as I've heard other people speak, there's a standstill right now on people purchasing. But it's funny because buyers, it's almost as if as soon as we went into phase 1, buyers are going back out and going back to their home searching where they left off in February. So
that's
I mean, yeah, luckily we've been very fortunate. The products do speak for themselves. I really don't think we really haven't had an issue thus far, but you don't know what could happen. We don't know where this is going for us in the fall. We've heard so many reports that it could come back, the flu, and hopefully by then we'll know how to deal with it better. And and as for my routine, I do what I used to do. I wake up, I try to get my workout in as early as possible. Some days I'm like, I can't do it, and I jump on my computer and I get to work, and I make sure to have my lunch break as I would here if I don't forget, because sometimes you get so caught up on your computer you forget to stop and and breathe and do your
and it's incredible because I feel that a lot of people are working more.
I
you don't have that
really believe that.
Yeah,
I really believe that. Even my coworkers, like they're getting more things, my sales partner, she's getting more things done like from home, making phone calls. And you know, people are being receptive. They're picking up the phone. They want to talk. They want interaction. You know, whether it's a phone call or they can't have the human interaction because of the social distancing. You know, but people are receptive. They're answering the phone. They want to talk, and it's a perfect opportunity for us to present the product and talk about the incentives the developer is giving right now and things like that. So we're definitely busy, and we're not bored whatsoever. So I do encourage everyone.
Congratulations for that career, because I found you inspiring. You're very young to have achieved so much. And again, also congratulations to MG Developer for these beautiful units that we have been able to experiment virtually, because that's the way that we're doing most of the presentations now. Thank you, Anniella, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Good luck with Othiero, which is your new project, and I'm sure we'll be talking very soon in another afternoon, not this rainy, because that's the other challenge that we're finding when we are recording these shows. We're used to being in a studio, and now we actually need to survive from home, but we're doing it the right way, I think.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Bye. Thanks so much.
Bye. Thank you, Sabina. Bye.